Good morning, students. Today, let's begin a new lesson Literary Heritage of India, chapter number 4. In the previous chapters, we have seen different factors included in the heritage of India. Mainly in this chapter, we see the literary heritage of India. Man took help of expression, symbols, drawing, and sounds to communicate his thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions to others. See how the people were communicating their thoughts, ideas, feelings, and emotions to others through the expression, symbols, drawing, and sounds. This led to invention of dialects and script. From that only, then invention of dialects and script was introduced. This script contributed to the development of language. From the script, the language was developed. Over a period of time, language was being used for an expression of things, thoughts. Then, at the long time, the people were using their language for what? To express their thoughts. The constructive use of language led to creation of literature. From the use of language, then the literature was created, or from that only that literature was developed. From ancient time, Indian literature is known for its diversity and uniqueness. From the ancient time onwards, we have our own diversity and uniqueness in the literature. Indian scholars divided ancient literature into Vedic and classical literature. So, Indian scholars are divided the literature like a Vedic and classical literature. Besides this, some folk literature was also popular. Folk literature also included. Then language and literature. If we quickly look at his history, we can see an emergence of variety of languages since centuries. We know different or the varieties of languages are in India as well as in all over the world. These language influenced one another and it is resulted in the development of literature. From the use of the language only that literature was developed. As a result, some new language and literature have developed and flourished. From that only the types of the languages was flourished or established. The best example of this is Sanskrit language. So one as the example is given, that is a Sanskrit language. Sanskrit language is less in use in present time, but religious ceremonies and worshipping rituals are dealt in Sanskrit language. So the language of Sanskrit is very less we are using, or the present time we are using very less. But in the religious ceremonies and worshipping rituals are dealt in the Sanskrit language. For this purpose, for the religious ceremonies and worshipping purpose, using the Sanskrit language. Generally, language provide opportunity for the humans for better expression and understanding. Through the language, the people can communicate many things. So then they can through that the humans can express their feelings or what are the things they want to communicate and also can understand through the language. India's most ancient script is that of Harappan civilization, which has not been deciphered, and so we have not been obtained much information about the language because on that time it was not convert. That is why we don't have much information about this language. Maharshi Panini was a great Sanskrit grammarian. Underline that one, it is very important. Maharshi Panini. Maharshi Panini was a great Sanskrit grammarian. The most important book of this time is Maharshi Panini's Ashtadhyayi. Underline that one. The important book of, or the most important book of Maharshi Panini's was Ashtadhyayi, which is noteworthy book of Sanskrit grammar of 4th century. Sanskrit is considered the language of Aryans, language of sages, or language of scholars. Mainly, this Sanskrit language was used by the Aryans, language of sages, and language of scholars. That is why it was considered for them especially. It has been accepted by all the international level. So international level also the Sanskrit language was accepted. So it is the best language for the computer use also. The Sanskrit language is used for the computer. Sanskrit was the chief language for knowledge, science, religion and philosophy. So one of the important thing was that they are considered Sanskrit was the chief or the important language for what? For the knowledge, science, religion and philosophy. Next we will see that the ancient Indian literature. So first we will see that Vedas. What is the meaning of Vedas? Veda means knowledge. Underline that one. What is the meaning of Veda? Veda means knowledge. Very important one. Then there are four types of Vedas. Which are they? Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda. These are the four important Vedas. Then first we will see that Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the most ancient work or the book of the Indian literature. Underline that one, very important. Which is the most ancient book of Indian literature? Rig Veda. So Rig Veda is the most ancient book of Indian literature. So it consists of 1028 words. Underline that one. In the Rig Veda, the book of Rig Veda consists of 1028 verses. It is wonderful work. It is a wonderful work divided into 10 divisions. So this Rig Veda was divided as a 10 books or the 10 division. Most of the verses are prayers of God. So we already said about 1028 verses are there. So most of these verses are used for the prayer. They were used during the yajnas. So these verses or these important verses were used in the time of yajnas. Among the verses, those worshipping Usha, the goddess of dawn, was fascinating. This work describes political, social and religious matters of Aryans who were residing in the region of Saptasindhu. Saptasindhu means 7 rivers. The second Veda is Samveda. 3 other Vedas were also composed after Rig Veda. First we already said about Rig Veda is the first one, then Samveda, Yajur Veda and Atharva Veda. So out of them, Samveda was composed to focus on the process of recitation of verses. So for the recitation, how they compose, the Samveda composed to focus in the process of recitation, reciting the verses. Hence, it is known as the Gangotri music. So, the recitation like a singing model. That is why it is known as the Gangotri of music. Underline that one. So, Samveda is known as the Gangotri of music. So, which Veda? Samveda. Yajur Veda, next one. Then Yajur Veda is called a Veda of Yajnas. Underline that one. So, Veda of Yajnas is Yajur Veda. It is composed in the both forms, prose and verses. Prose type is there, verses type is there. This describes the hymns recited at a time of Yajnas. This also for the ritual purpose they were using, the religious practices and rituals. So that is why this describes the hymns recited at the time of Yajnas, the religious practice and rituals. Then the fourth one is Atharva Veda. So Atharva Veda describes various type of rituals and samskars. Underline that one. The Atharva Veda describes various type of rituals and sanskaras. Next we will see that Upanishad. What is Upanishad? The Upanishadic literature gives a vivid description and analysis of beginning of the universe, the mystery of life, death, materialistic and spiritual world, etc. So especially this Upanishad, through the Upanishad what they are giving the description. So it is analyzing. So it is gives the interpretation or description to the human beings about what the beginning of the universe. So it is explained how the world was established or the world was beginning of the world and the mystery of life and death. So how the life of the human's life mystery. What was the life? What was the death? And materialistic and a spiritual world. Then the materials. The world is, we know that it is materialistic world is the only we are giving the importance to the materials, and spiritual world, spiritual means we are giving more importance to God. Then Brihadarayana and Chandogya are the earliest Upanishad in the dialogue form. So these were in the form of dialogue. Dialogue means like a conversation form. They are 108 in all as in the mention in Muktiko Upanishad. Next we will see that Brahmanical literature. So what is Brahmanical literature? Many Brahmanical epics were composed to understand the meaning of Vedic literature. So we can understand what are the things were in the Vedic literatures. Any critical appreciation based on Vedas composed in the poetic form are included in the Brahmanical literature. Vedic literature and directive principles regarding behavior have been explained broadly. So which are the things are in the Vedic literature and the directive principles regarding the behavior are explained in this. Then the first one will see that Aryan caste. Aryans used to spend their last phase of life in Aryan caste, making their ashrams in Aryan caste or the forest. So Aryan caste, that these people, what they were doing? So Aryan caste, the Aryans, that people is known as that Aryan caste. So Aryan used to spend their last phase or the last time of their life, where they are spending in the place of Aryan caste. The phase of Aryan caste, making their place where in the ashram, in a Aryan caste or in the forest. They composed literature based on philosophy, which was the result of their deep thinking. Some kind of literature they were composed. So this was from the, what was the result of that? Because from the result of their deep thinking, they are thinking and meditating. Through that they are composing this type of literature. It is known as that Aryan caste. Next one we'll see that Vedangas. The Vedangas literature deals with the religious practice and rituals, grammar, astrology and astronomy. So the Vedangas literature, that Aryangas literature is there, Vedangas literature is there. So in the Vedangas literature deals with what? The religious practice and rituals, and also the grammar, astrology and astronomy regarding the study of sky. Then the Ramayana and Mahabharata are two great Indian epics. Underline that one. Every year mostly they are asking the exam time. So which are the two great Indian epics? Ramayana and Mahabharata. Underline. Ramayana and the Mahabharata are the two great epics of India. The present form of these epics can be traced back to the 2nd century. The Ramayana has the story of Ramachandra. Underline that one. So the epic of Ramayana. So it describes the story of Ramachandra. Underline that one. Ramayana has the story of Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya. The Ramayana is the smaller epic than the Mahabharata. So already we said about there are two types of or the two great Indian epics are the Ramayana and Mahabharata. So Ramayana is the smaller than the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is the biggest one. So it narrates many attractive stories of adventure. Then the Mahabharata is the world's largest epic in the world. Then Mahabharata is the largest one. So that is why it is known as that world largest epic. It has 1 lakh verses. This describes the war between Kauravas and Pandavas. Besides, it also consists of numerous stories. So in the Mahabharata, it is a description of Kauravas and Pandavas war and also the many stories. The Bhagavad Gita, a part of Mahabharata, expounds the deep philosophical principles. It conveys the message of achieving moksha or salvation through Gyan, Karma and Bhakti. So and also the already we said about the Bhagavad Gita. This is one of the part of the Mahabharata. So it expounds the deep philosophical principles. So it conveys or it gives the message of achieving what? moksha or salvation. Through how we are getting the moksha or salvation? Through gyan, karma and bhakti. Already we know that gyan means knowledge, karma means deeds or works, then bhakti means devotion. Then both epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, have been influencing millions of Indian and the literature for a long time. So these epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata greatly influenced the Indians. They have implanted motivational seeds of sanskars in the Indians. During this period, Sanskrit literature was produced which contained a good combination of religious and worldly aspects of life. Already we said that. Then how the Sanskrit language or the literature was introduced, then what was the uses of that Sanskrit language. We already said about during the religious ceremonies of worshipping they were using this Sanskrit language. So this contain a good combination of religious and worldly aspects of life. The Puranas played an important role in explaining initial Vedic religion of the earlier time. During this period, many scriptures and Smriti Granths were composed. So, scripture means that scriptures are is known as that religious books, and also Smriti Granthas were composed. These scriptures dealt with the science and philosophy. For example, Kautilya's Arthashastra is a book of management as well as books on various topics such as arts, mathematics and other science. So these all the subjects were included in this book. So that is why the best example is given, that is the Kautilya's Arthashastra. The Smriti Granth as explains the religious teaching, laws and customs. And also we already said about the that many scriptures and Smriti Granthas were composed on that time. So the Smriti Granthas mainly explains about the religious teaching, laws and customs. The earlier Buddhist literature was written in Pali. Underline that one. In the earlier time, the Buddhist literature was written in Pali language. So, as it is divided into three sections. So, this is known as that Tripitaka. So, in the Buddhist literature was divided as three sections. So, it is known as that Tripitaka. It consists of Sukta Pitaka. So, Tripitaka, underline the very important one. So, it consists of Sukta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka and Abhidhan Pitaka. So, these are the three Pitakas. Besides, many other works were also composed in the Buddhist literature. Gupta period was known as the golden period for the growth and development of Sanskrit poems and dramas. So, the Sanskrit poems and dramas was developed in the time of Gupta period. The great writers like Kalidas, Bhavbhudi, Bharvi, Bhartrihari, Banabhat, Mankha and many other belongs to this period. So in the time of Gupta period, these were the many important great writers. Of this, Kalidasa is known all over the world. So Kalidasa becomes very famous. So that is why he was known all over the world. So his works, the Kalidasa's words were Kumar Sambhava, then Raghuvansham, Meghadut, Abhigham Shakuntalam and Rutu Samhar. So and are renowned for the best poetic and dramatic style. So these are the some of the important writings of Kalidas, and also it was in the poetic and dramatic style. Bana wrote Kadambari and Harsha Charit. Underline that one. Bana wrote Kadambari and Harsha Charit. So a biography of King Varsha. So these are the important works of Bana. Then other works of the period are Bhavbhudi's Uttar Ramcharit, then Bhairavi's Kiradhar Joniam, Vishakadatta's Mudraraksha, then Shutraka's Mrit Shakadhyam and Dandi's Dash Kumar Charita. So these are the some of the important other works of the period in this period. The subject of these works were political events, romance, allegories, comedies and philosophy. So in the writings, So these all the things were included. The politics were there, romance were there, allegories were there, comedies and philosophy. Verses were composed in earlier from of Gujarati language. So on that time, they were written in the Gujarati from the Gujarati language. In the course of time, Gujarati language developed and many literary works were composed in it. The heritage of Gujarati literature was made prosperous by literary contribution of Narasimha Mehta, Mirabai, Jairam Akko, Premchand, Pritham and other who composed beautiful verses, songs, garbha, narrative poems and chapas etc. Chapas like a poetry. So these were the some of the important writings of these writers. After that the scholars like Narmad, then Naval Ram, Kishorlal Mashruwala, Pannalal Patel, Uman Shankar Joshi, Mahimat Ram, Ruparam Nilkant, Govardharam Tripathi and other enriched Gujarati literature through the verse. So through the these are the people. They are written in the Gujarati literature also. Then the four Dravidian language. Underline that one. The four Dravidian language were Tamil, Telugu, Kannada and Malayalam. So these are the four Dravidian language developed in their own script and literature. Tamil is the oldest of these. Among these four languages, Tamil is the oldest language. So which is the oldest Dravidian language? That is Tamil. So with this literature belong to early centuries of this Christian era. According to tradition, 3 literary gatherings and sangams were held at which many sages and poets recited their composition. They contain many themes like politics, war and love. So then this also included in the themes like politics themes, war and love. The famous works of this body of literature includes Ethutokyoi, that is a composition of 8 poems, the Tolkappiyam, that is the grammar, and the Pathupat, the 10 songs. Tiruvallur wrote the famous Kurai. Underline that one. The Kurai was written by Tiruvallur. So Kurai, underline that. Tiruvallur wrote the famous Kurai, which verse deals with many aspects of life and religion. The Shilpadikaram and Manimekhalai are some of the most famous works of this early Tamil literature. The important work of the Tamil literature were Shilpadikaram and So students, today I am concluding with this paragraph. So next session I will take that medieval literature. So students, thank you for listening my class.